Hi everybody, and welcome to CloudCoin Live. It's some really exciting times that we're living in right now. Today there's some big news in that the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies has taken a big dive. It's gone down to 6,200, and actually that's a lot more than I predicted that Bitcoin would be right now. If you look at my past posts on LinkedIn, I predicted that right now Bitcoin would be down around 3,000. In fact, I've even predicted that the price of Bitcoin will go down so low that the Bitcoin miners will have to shut down the servers because they will actually lose money because the cost of electricity is so high that it'll cost them over $3,000 to make Bitcoins, but they will be, if they do get Bitcoins, they'll only be able to sell them for less than that. So that could in fact destroy the entire network. Some interesting news I also heard about is that Ethereum's blockchain is now 1 terabyte. So if you want to be involved with Ethereum, you want to download that blockchain, well, you better have a really big hard drive and a lot of time to wait because that thing is too huge. And we see the Bitcoin blockchains growing as well. That was 165 gigabytes last time I checked. These things are not sustainable. The banking community has come out and said that these cryptocurrencies are not ready for prime time. In fact, they are not ready for prime time. CloudCoin is. CloudCoin has had some good success this week. There's a book that came out, and that book mentioned, the book is about how to invest and buy Bitcoins, but it actually, or not necessarily Bitcoins, but cryptocurrencies, but it actually came out and said, hey, there's this new coin, it's called CloudCoin, and it's very interesting. So we're seeing that. I've got a whole bunch of talks scheduled in the future. I'm going to be speaking on the keynote center stage of Freedom Fest, and I've got a little venue that I'm going to have an hour to explain my new theory of perfect money there. That's going to be a big deal because everybody that goes to Freedom Fest is really somebody who cares about freedom like I do, and it's all the movers and shakers, and we're going to have the biggest booth there. I mean, we have the biggest booth, and we also have Kevin Harrington, who is one of the original Shark Tank hosts. He's going to be there at our booth, and we got some media happening. It's just we're just going to have a really great time at Freedom Fest. But I'm also going to the Chicago Trade Show about a week after that, and I'll talk to that show and all of those investors about what money is and about CloudCoin. Then I'll also go to the San Francisco Money Show and do the same thing a couple weeks after that. So we're starting to get around and we're starting to get the news out. And we now have a new PR agency, Goldman Communications. They're out of Canada, but they deal with the big magazines like the Wall Street Journal and Fortune and all of these other media things. We've been up to now just doing local radio, and we've been trying to do some local television, but now we're going to start actually hitting some of the bigger news things. We still haven't begun marketing, and we still haven't got into trying to get investors. And so this week we did have a setback. We had a programmer who resigned, and I think that it was kind of mutual. We're happy but what it's done is it kind of set us back in that we've got to go through the code and redo things, and this code was very important. It's kind of the center of things. It's called the Cloud Bank. It's the center of our liquidity issues. But we do have about 5 new programmers, and they're already working on it, and we're converting the code so it's much more flexible, it's much more solid, and so that has been a bummer, but I think that we're all going to be much happier in the next couple of weeks because of those changes. Today I got to look at this final celebrium. The only thing that's different is that we have to put the final signature on it, the digital signature, and that is, of course, is my signature, my digital signature, and that will go on that, and we should be able to get that out and done. And we hope to, our goal is July 11th to have that done, and we certainly will meet that goal. July 11th, of course, is the Freedom Fest, and we have a number of celebrities at Freedom Fest who have volunteered to be our celebrities on our first celebrium. So we're going to have some celebrity collectibles at Freedom Fest that people can collect. And a lot of very beautiful libertarian women and handsome libertarian men are going to be there, are going to be our celebrities. So it's going to be very nice. We have been very busy, very ramped up. And we've got about 18 different projects that are all almost done, and we're trying to get them all done by July 11th. And so all by Freedom Fest. We're getting a new money design that is very beautiful, and we've got this new type of file format that's in the works. It's for the PNG, which is the network graphic standard that we use on the internet every day. And we can embed not just one cloud, like with a JPEG, we can only put one CloudCoin note in there. But with the PNGs, we're going to be able to put an entire stack. And so this is probably going to become the new default format. So when we buy and sell and trade cloud coins, we're going to use the PNG format most likely in the future, I predict. We're also done with the MP3 standard. We're not going to work it into anything until I have time to test it, but that's an achievement. And we're going to have the Founders Edition, the second version of Founders Edition, come out. That's going to have multi-check, so it can check coins very quickly. The RAIDA is going well. We only have like 2 servers left, or maybe even just 1, until we can start doing multi-fix. And that means that if we have some coins that are fracked, and we do have some coins that are fracked out there, they're going to be able to fix hundreds of them at a time. So that's going to be a real benefit. And so this week is all about powering up. We've got the 5 stages. As you probably have heard, I've said that there's the RAIDA stage, which we're already done with pretty much. And we've got the client software stage, which we are still doing, but it's pretty solid. And then we have the liquidity stage. That's the stage we're trying to get through right now, because once we're done with that, then we can move into marketing 100%. We've got once we go through the liquidity stage, that means that we'll have the exchange up, BitShares going, and that's going just fine. Again, July 11th is the due date for that. XYZBuys.com is going along just great. We've got something called Trusted Transfer that allows us to transfer coins outside of the real world, but mainly we're creating it so that people can transfer them inside of virtual reality and video games, and that is well under development. And so we've got all this stuff going that allows us to quickly change cloud coins into something else. That's called liquidity. Once we've done with that, then we can move on and tell the world and say, hey, we've got this wonderful thing. And so we're redoing the entire web page. I've already seen the samples of that. We've got somebody that's working on that pretty extensively. It's going to be in 6 different languages. We're going to be able to convert over that in one day, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And we've got all these new graphics and all these new sales materials, if you want to call it that, all this new marketing stuff. And it's just going to be a whole different CloudCoin once we get into the marketing stage. And we can just really go out there and hit the media. I want to go and do some debates with the top crypto experts and see if I can take them on. Because I believe that we've got the best product, and no matter how far or whatever happens to the crypto economy, people need digital currency. They've learned that digital currency is here to stay. CloudCoin is the scalable solution that is going to be usable by the entire world's population. Nobody's going to be able to bring it down. No governments are going to shut it down. No hackers are going to be able to affect it. It's going to be the first time in human history that we have a global currency that can really do everything for everybody, and that's going to mean freedom. And it's going to mean that we are going to have privacy, and that we're going to be hopefully able to escape the yoke of a lot of tyrannical governments that are all around the world and bring people together. All right, well, thank you very much for joining me this week. Oh, we got a question, I'm sorry.
Tara Worthington would like to know, she'd like to know, if a coin doesn't pwn, should I just wait a while?
So if the coin does not pwn, chances are it's a counterfeit, and you should figure out where you got it from, because you might have bought it from somebody that sold it to you as a counterfeit. We have this new trusted transfer that'll take away the problem. Instead of you just receiving the coin, it'll go through a trusted bank that'll check to see if it's real, and then it'll go back down to you. But right now, if it doesn't pwn, it's a bad thing. It looks like it might be a counterfeit.
And that's all we got for today.
All right, see you next week.